all right. Good morning, everyone. Today is January 7th, 2022, and we got some data just coming out through the wire. So we got those payroll revised. Okay, so the December payrolls to 199,000. So that's pretty low. That's pretty low. That's let me mute that. Let me get sorry. Let me meet the. All right, so payrolls are pretty low. Okay, so that might be a positive for the market. Let's see what's going down here in the markets, and I gotta lower the volume here. Whoops, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right. So let's check it out. All right, let's check it out. Let's dive in. So futures are up 46.89 right now. Let me see if those are the right numbers here. Yeah, 46.89. So job payrolls came out. Payrolls came out 199,000. Right. So that's pretty low. If I'm getting the right data here. Yeah, hiring falters in December as payroll rate rise only to 199,000. Okay, so that's pretty low. We were expecting about, I think, 400,000, somewhere in there. So, and again, let me just show you that real quick. Let's go to share. Okay, share screen. All right, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. Add to stream. All right, there we go. All right, so now job payrolls came out to about 199,000. Good morning, Josh. So 199,000. So that's pretty good. So that's probably going to signal to the market possibly that the Fed might not tighten, even though we do need to tighten. All right, so we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place at this moment of time, and so again, it's just a matter of where exactly are we? So. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm just kind of dissecting. October payroll revised to 648 from 546. Okay, so the data just came out through the wire, guys. 830 right now. Private sector payrolls 211,000. So ultimately, what we're looking for is this, guys. If the job numbers, December unemployment rate to 3.9 versus 4.1. Okay, estimate was 4.1. So the unemployment rate went to 3.9. We're looking for a signal, right? The market's looking for a signal to see if the jobs came out lower, which I think they are, then basically it might signal to the Fed that we might not raise interest rates, at least being delayed, right? They're not going to do it higher. If the job number came up a little faster or hotter, like over 500,000 or 700,000, then I think the market would have been that would have been a very bearish scenario for the markets to continue going down. Now, but overall, we're not out of the woods yet, right? So this is just one piece of the information, and I want to share with you what else, as a trader, what to expect. Because I spent a lot of time yesterday, and this I think this is the part where a lot of individuals are like missing in their trading environment. And it's basically right here. So we got this piece of the information gone. If we look here, the market is up slightly future. So that's going to put us at 46.90, just under 4,700. So it's not like super robust. Let me see, look at Barron's. So the economic so this is the U.S. economic calendar, guys. So this was all week. So next week, what the number we're going to be looking at is, remember, right, January 12th, consumer price index. And that's going to be basically, and again, these numbers are false, but this is what this is what the market looks at. So we have to pay attention. But ultimately, this is ideal. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at basically consumer price index is just the rate of inflation is going hot. We all know inflation is pretty hot. It's just that the market is going to look at that because remember, there's too much money supply in the system. When there's too much money supply and we're having supply chain issues, there's a lot of things coming up before us. We have, so a couple of key things here. Supply chain issues, right? We have a problem with parts. And there's a Chinese New Year's coming up. So again, all of that is going to add into the projections, especially in earnings, especially when it comes to retail, right? Now, the earnings season is upon us, and that's going to come up pretty shortly. So we're going to be listening to what they're saying. Okay. If we also notice Black Friday, Amazon always comes out with their numbers. Always, always. They didn't come out with their numbers this year. So is that a signal to the market? Like, think about it. If things are great, people will tell you they're great, right? But when things are bad, do they really tell you they're bad? Not really. So I think that's why the market is kind of bracing itself for some information that hasn't hit the wire yet. So I expect this quarter, I don't expect us to go higher, to be honest with you. I expect us, and I want to share this with you real quick, and we're going to dive in. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you. So ultimately, one of the things I look at, and these are the fangs, guys. So, you have to pay attention to the fangs. This is something I always look at. And these are the daily. So, if you don't want to trade them, I don't like Facebook. You don't have to trade it, but if you see an opportunity, why not? Beyond Meat is just there, it's just there. I don't know why, but I mean, it's actually a really nice trade to the downside. But these are the ones I look at: Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And what you want to look at, we're looking at the dailies here, guys. So, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you study the same thing that I've been showing you as far as the system, the white line is the 50-day moving average, and there's a green line somewhere in there, the yellow greenish right there. That's the 200-day moving average. So we kind of had a death cross, not too long ago. I think it was kind of like December 9th. And we're retesting his head, and it's looking like it possibly can go lower. Look at the MACDs. If the MACDs break zero, Facebook can probably go lower. And remember what Facebook told us last quarter. They told us that they're not doing well, right? They told us that their ad revenue has gone down, and is that getting better? I don't think so, right? So they changed the name to the metaverse, and that seemed to kind of affect people. But watch Facebook. It could bounce here, and if it regains that 200-day, then possibly it could maybe go higher. But ultimately, what I want to share this with you, we're all pretty high. Even Apple, look how far away we are from the 50, and Apple just kind of, it's okay if Apple pulls back to the 50. We're still in this uptrend, and we're above the 200. So that's pretty positive. But look at Amazon. Okay, so Amazon is below the 200-day and the 50-day. So we have two that it's not working against it, and Amazon's one where, again, they didn't come out with Black Friday numbers, and so what are they gonna, and they guided down last quarter. So I think investors are bracing themselves, and we broke that 3,300 cliff. Netflix working his way lower, but look at Netflix, broke the 200-day moving average. So they're holding it right at that 200-day. Are they going to take it lower? And Netflix has earnings coming upon us pretty soon. But again, I just want to show you the movements, right? Once we break the 50, see how powerful the 50 is, and especially when you add it with the MACDs going lower back to zero, that is presenting itself for a good trade, especially if you're trading like long term, and I mean long term. You're not day trading. You're trading against like a month, and you want to trade that. You want to take, again, same premise, that you want to take the highest probability trade at the 50 or going back to the 50. Okay, and use the MACDs for confirmation of a direction. So what I mean by that, if you're on top and you want to go back to the 50, see if the MACDs are going back down, and if they are, then you are on the right side of the wave. Okay, that's ultimately what it comes down to it. Google dropping as well, and Google, believe it or not, and we are in inflationary times, guys. So this Sunday, what I'm gonna do on the weekly, and I do a weekly forecast for the week ahead. I put that on the coffee link. So basically, what I do there, I'm gonna discuss stocks that are somewhat that will do well in inflationary environments. And there's a few stocks. Google is one of them, believe it or not. But it's Google's kind of going sideways. We had this plummeted, so you can see this sideways action on Google. So even though the MACDs go lower, you have to see where's the action going, right? So the action, we're at the 50, is just kind of consolidating at that $50 range, and the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average is going higher. Now Beyond Meat, again, it's I like it, but it's overpriced. It's overpriced for fake meat, right? But you can tell it's like this is the company that's having a lot of issues, and this thing declined quite a bit. So again, it looks like it's basing right now. It's trying to hold that base. But again, is it going to do an inflationary? Are people going to buy this, right? Or are they going to buy something else? All right. So let's get to it and let's see. All right, so let's jump. So you want to put down your days, 25th, 26th. You got to pay attention to that. And ultimately, futures are at, let me see where the futures are at. Futures are at, oh, where are we? Okay, this gives me the futures usually. Okay, yeah, don't want that. Okay, futures are lower. Okay, so we're going 46.86. So again, the market is taking a reaction to that. So we could drop to 4,600, guys. All right, cool. Let's dive in. All right, awesome. So let's see what's going down here. Let's see what the overall market is. And you guys are watching me. That's great. All right. So we got the S&P 500. We're right there. It's probably going to retest that 4670. MACDs are going weaker. That's showing me weakness. Watch that 4670. If we break that, we're going lower, guys. Real simple. 4650. 46 around 4650 to be around there. And then we're going to be looking at probably, right around 46, right around 40, 46, 46 to be exact, right in that range. If we start breaking below that, we can go to 4,600 pretty easy. Okay. So pretty easy. Nasdaq. Okay. And I'm noticing the VIX just popped. TNX, again, if yields go higher, right? So again, what I was talking about anti-inflationary companies, you have to look for companies that, and I'm going to discuss at length at this, you have to look for companies that have zero debt on their books, right? Because if they have debt, right? If they have debt, think about this. Money becomes more expensive. The amount of money they have to repay back that debt, now their interest rates goes higher. So that means that they're going to be making less money. Okay, so that they're going to put strain on their margin requirements. Now, at some moment, that's going to, so the company has two ways to deal with that. They can either pass it on to their customers, which I don't think they do, because then they risk what? They risk losing a customer, or they basically to take on that extra expense, and that means that lower margin. So PE ratios are about to be rectified, and that's why you see a lot of pullbacks in a lot of these companies. So I wouldn't invest in companies at this moment if you're an investor in companies that have high debt at this moment. So key companies, a few that I'm throwing out there: Tesla, no debt. Apple, zero debt. Things like that. All right, but so that's where the Nasdaq is probably going lower. Russell. Let's find Russell can drop. Russell has a big drop right here if we start going negative today. Okay, so let's dive in as far as the VIX. The VIX, we're going higher. So, guys, this is a great measurement of the VIX that we're looking at. And again, let's look right here. The VIX is going. Look. Ultimately, this is the measurement of fear, right? So again, this was last week. We had more fear into the marketplace than we did last week. Now, again, so when you start looking at fear, so then we went up, but now fear is going back up higher. And I presented something to a friend of mine, and I'm going to post it on the Twitter account, and we'll have to find it. But there's certain peaks that happens on the VIX that when interest rates go high, and we're looking at like 2018, 2015, when they raise interest rate, the VIX peaks, and it peaks around 35, 40. So I'm expect that type of fear to enter into the marketplace. It's not going to happen all at once. I think it's going to be a gradual effect, right? It's going to be like the boyfriend that wants to break up with the girlfriend, or vice versa, the girlfriend that wants to break the boyfriend, but it doesn't know how to do it. So they're doing it slowly but surely, and kind of throwing hints, and it takes a long time. And I think that's what we're upon us this quarter, right? So just be careful as far as any new investments that you do. The treasury notes, and this is what we're looking at right here. 1.7. This thing is climbing 1.75. Not good for techs, guys. So just telling you, that would not trade tech right now. As far as you're going to trade it, wouldn't invest it. If you do, invest in companies that have zero debt on the books. Okay. All right. But there is opportunity, guys. So again, if you know me, I don't, I like all the information. All the information out there is just news, right? And how we trade the news. So again, here's the S&P 500 coming down to that 50. It looks like we're going to work out way lower. So 4,700. If I look at the futures market here, 46.79 and declining. Beautiful. I love it. I have some puts. So here we are. 46.79 is probably going to put us at that 46.89. So we're working our way lower. So we could drop. We take out that 46.71. We're this going to drop. We could drop today. So get ready, guys. Nasdaq. Okay. Nasdaq breaking his way lower. That also is dropping. And if I look back here at Barron's, let's look at the NASDAQ futures at 15,691. And that's going to put me, yeah, right below this level here, right? 15,691. If we take out that 15,600, look out below, we're dropping. And I think it's going to happen, guys. I just 10-year next, the TNX is going higher. The job report and the market's just reacting. The Dow's already down $31. Bitcoin's going to go down as well. That's why, guys. So again, and this is what I mean when I get to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not an inflation and not an inflationary hedge. It's not. So just what is, there's other stuff out there as well. Russell working his way lower. So everything here is at the 50. So again, these are the trades that we like to take. Unfortunately, we're going to work our way lower. So we're pretty worried from the 50. So again, if you're going to take that trade and expect that we're going to go lower, I got into these trades yesterday. So for me, because I took both sides, I took the call and the put. So my calls are probably going to go to crap, but my puts are going to get some money. So that's what I did, and this is how I traded that. Again, Google working its way lower. Again, just all tech. If Google goes down, this is the high flyer, start working its way lower, starts breaking 27.39. They are going to take it down. Okay, Amazon, I think that this one is going to go down as well. Look at it. It started. So that might be an ideal entry to the downside. If you're wrong in a trade, you see the MACDs start turning up, then we're wrong in a trade, right? You want to look at the MACDs for confirmation that you're on the right, you're surfing the right wave, right? So if we just starting going down, that you're surfing the right wave. If this starts turning up, then you're surfing the wrong way. Pretty simple. Tesla, I told you this one was a darling. It held pretty strong, right? And I'll talk about this. Try to go pre-market, can't go. Watch the 1100 for pre-market. This can change his mind. Remember, Tesla has zero debt, and I think investors are going to be going towards this one as an inflationary hedge. So this is like companies that that can do well during inflationary times. All right. So ISRG working his way lower. CMG, it's right there. It's right there. Yeah. So I just saw, I'm seeing your comments, guys. I'm seeing it. So I'll get to it. Josh said, what's a MACD when you're trying to add in I'll get to it right now. Absolutely. I see your question. I'm going to get to it. But let's find out where the opportunities lie at this moment of time. So CMG is right there. It's going sideways, guys. So watch this. So this thing got hammered, and CMG. So key levels to watch on CMG, 1650 and then 1590. So I have to dive into CMG, see how much debt they have. I don't think they have that much debt, but again, they're passing on the cost to their customers. So you're paying about $1, $2 more. Is that going to be more stringent? Is it going to affect their margins? So I do know that they're passing on the cost to their customers. Customers are still going there, but how much more can they pass it on, right? So if it goes up $5 more, are you still going to be going to CMG? Probably not. Not for a burrito bowl. I know recently I went to a deli nearby and I bought 2 sandwiches and fries and like 2 iced teas, and it came out to $64. So I don't know how much longer they're going to stay in business. All right, Lam Research, chips are going higher. So this is one they have to look, just see it. And again, I think chips are doing well here. Goldman Sachs working higher, right? Because high interest rates looks good for banks. So 401 to see if this thing starts going higher. And again, if the banks go high, the XPX can't crater. Okay, so just know that the XPX is not going to crater as much. So there's not going to be like a huge sell-off. Netflix, there's some activity on Netflix, but again, they might take this down. Anything can happen in the next 40 minutes. Roku working his way lower. NVIDIA. So this is one on NVIDIA, 284. I thought NVIDIA can go. Remember, I gave you a clue yesterday. If you're an option trader, look at the option 3 weeks out, right? And if you're noticing like if those are not priced in, they're not like super expensive like they were 3 weeks out, because this thing moves, then he doesn't think it's going to go higher. But right now, pre-market, this thing is going to go lower. Mercado Libre, basing, I don't know about Mercado Libre as far as inflation, if they're passing on the cost to their customers, but this is the Amazon of South America, right? So these guys right now is at the bottom range where we or close to the bottom here. Can it go a little bit lower? If you see the MACDs turning, that might be a perfect trade to the downside. All right, Apple. Working his way lower. Watch Apple. If Apple starts going down, then the market can go down. Shopify, again, tons and tons of upgrade. This is basing, so they took this down pretty well, right? Again, watch 1200 to get it better, or is it going to go down? MACD's working his way lower. It can go down to 1138. Right now, 1170. All right, so just remember, pick one. We cover Shopify. I think I did it twice. Affirm. Okay, so this is one you got to watch. It could probably, if it starts breaking down, could probably go back down to that $74. Watch it on the upside for 83. But right now it's sitting at 81. If it starts going down, it's probably going to go to 74. Upstart, again, being sold off. This is one that can probably work its way lower. One now, currently 118, bouncing off the 50. If this starts at the beginning of the MACD, if that starts picking up some steam, it can probably go to 113 and lower, right? So watch that one. HubSpot, again, another one just kind of consolidating. Doesn't know which way he's going to go. Watch the MACD for a direction there if you're going to pick that one. Zoom, working his way lower, right? Zoom could probably go down to 171. Bookings, again, this is airlines. So airlines working his way lower. Let's find out. It's right there. It can go either way. It's just consolidating right now. So 2412 and 2460 on top. ServiceNow looks like it's trying to be bullish, all right? So watch 590 for the upside if this starts turning, but we're right at the 50. So when things are at the 50, this is the perfect opportunity to go up or down, right? So up or down right there. Coinbase, again, watch BTC, 236 to get it better, 238 to get it going, and can go to 250. Is that going to happen today? Don't know. Or is it going to work its way lower, back down to 224? Let's look at the chips real quick. Chips are holding, right? Qualcomm or INTU is basing. Qualcomm is holding. ASML. So I got some news on ASML. Let me find out. So ASML came out, and they said that the production of ASML's deep ultraviolet or DUV lithography system is also back on track despite some disruptions regarding the components. As for the company's extreme ultraviolet lithograph systems, is working to minimize the fire damage to the production area and any impact to its output plant. So they finally came out with a statement. So let's see how this runs. I think that I still like ASML. Again, they have earnings, and if they echo. So I'm looking for investors to get back in. 765 to get it better, 770 to get it running. But let's see, that pre-market is looking good. AMD holding. AMAT holding, Broadcom, Avlo going down, and it needs to go down. Rivian going down, Roblex going down. So let's look at BTC, and I want to get to it. So BTC, guys, so again, you have to watch the XPX, right? Because what I've noticed yesterday, the XPX, the BTC follows the S&P 500, right? Or any data that comes out that could raise interest rates. Ironically enough, I don't know why. I have to do a deep dive, but anything where there's raising of interest rates, less money going into the system, BTC goes lower. Why is that? So maybe it has a direct correlation to people borrowing against their BTC, right? Because that's another implosion too, right? Because I know that a lot of these DeFi companies, think about it. If they're borrowing against their BTC in dollars or fiat, and BTC goes down, there will be a margin call, or a version of a margin call requirement that they're going to have to pay that back. And will they be able to pay that back? I don't know. So ultimately, if we're looking at price action, guys, it's real simple. Someone's selling. Pretty simple. Why? Let's not focus on the why, right? The why can come back later. But if we were to say, are people buying or selling? Well, they're selling, right? So again, I wouldn't buy the dip. I don't believe in that, because it's like the knife has been falling falling, and you want to take a risk of catching that knife. Let it base, don't chase. That's what I say here. So and what I mean by base, let it base. The 50-day moving average break and broke to 200. And remember, this was a demand zone on this day, and it needs to hold at 41.53.6 because that's where a big somebody came in and bought big. And look at that. It has 403.95. If that goes lower, we're at that base right now of these lows, right? So it looks like there's going to be some demand there, hopefully. But if that breaks, then we're probably going to head to that 30,000 area. Okay, so right there, I wouldn't go long on BTC. Let it base, don't chase. Just let it drop. Someone's selling. Okay, and this is what I mean. It's like you have to watch the price action. Let it base, don't chase. Let it come down. MicroStrategy. Well, MicroStrategy. And this is a perfect example. MicroStrategy has a lot of Bitcoin on his books, right? So if BTC, so does Tesla, by the way. So if BTC goes down, so the value of MicroStrategy that owns these BTC is also going to go down with it. And this is a perfect example. And this is why MicroStrategy was at 760 or 900, and do you see the correlation here? Boom. And this drops as well. So you can short MicroStrategy at the same time. If you want to short BTC, this is a good short company because it moves pretty nicely. Okay. So, but again, let's see what happens there. And we have a fresh set of MACDs here. So ultimately what I'm looking at, I would like to see how far this is going to go. Is it going to base? We'll see. All right. Ethereum. Okay, we broke the demand zone. This is one push sell off here. So I think this is probably going to be, on Ethereum. It looks like a sell off here. Now, the one thing it came up to mind, and I had a meeting this morning, which they said something, and I'm still learning about the NFTs and the strategies on how to invest around them. So, but one of the things that came up was basically, a lot of people are buying NFTs because it doesn't show as a sell on taxes or something. It's like you're exchanging one token for another. So I think that's possibly what's happened with Ethereum, that there's a lot of NFT activity, obviously. So if that is true, I have to look into. If you do know, let me know. But basically, if that is true, and that could save people from a tax consequence, that's maybe why Ethereum is going down. I don't know. So maybe that's one there. All right, but let's dive in. Let's see what's going down. I want to see where I want to get a trade in today. I know you guys did too. Futures are at 46.81. All right, so let's see. 46.81. I want to check out this XPX 46.81. That's going to put us right at that 46.91 right there. 46.91. It's going to put me right there. All right, so this could go down. If this starts going down, key target here is going to be 46.69, the lows that we hit yesterday. Probably that's a good target there. So that might be a potential target for that. As far as anything else that I'm noticing here setting up, which one I like? Google. I like Google. Amazon might be good. Ooh, so many. Okay, let me see. Goldman. If Goldman goes negative, we tank. So watch Goldman. Shopify. Maybe Shopify. Let's pick one. All right, let's see Shopify. All right, so Shopify is already kind of dangling. All right, on the hourlies, I don't like it. 15-minute, that could be one to 11:39, possibly, right? 11:39 on Shopify. We get the MACDs to start turning. That might be one. I like the Amazon too. Let me see Amazon. Let's see Amazon. All right, Amazon. Maybe to that 32.38 if this starts working its way lower, right? I would love to get it. The perfect scenario is when both the 15 and we're both on the hourlies, right at that 50. That is super, super nice. But again, let's see. Okay, Google. All right. All right. So Google working his way lower, Google likes to move on Fridays. If you know me, that's probably going to go. Can probably go to 27.31, currently 27.50. that could be a possibility if the MACD starts turning. Anything can happen in the next 29 minutes. All right, but there's a couple there, guys. Anything else you want me to look at? So let me say what's up to you guys. All right. Good morning, Josh. What's up, buddy? What's up? What's up? Good morning, JDH. Yeah, Bitcoin is going down. Just dropped 1,000. What's the MACD? Can we talk after the things are pumping with NFTs again with the ETH? Josh, would love to talk to you about it. Unfortunately, 9:30, I'm working. I have to manage positions, but yeah, maybe later on we'll have a discussion if you don't mind, like in the afternoon. That'd be great. Let me see. Do you know if you get taxed? Do you know if you get a tax with your tether? Don't know. I'm in the mix of finding out. All right, guys. Any questions here on stocks or anything you want me to look at? All right, job report out looks like a miss. Yeah, they came out, but they came out lower, right? They came out lower than expected. But it's not a bad thing. The market was, I mean, it all depends I thought the market was going to take it like, yeah, they're not going to raise interest rates, but the market is jittery. So here's the one thing I wanted to tell you about the market is that I think what's going to happen is we're going to get these pops, right? It's going to come down and get a pop, come down, pop, come down, pop. So we're not going to get it straight down. We're going to get these pops, but we are going to work our way lower. So just be careful. And what I mean by that, I think that people are bracing themselves and they're kind of unloading little by little by little. They don't want to reveal their hands. And this is how funds work. They don't want to reveal their hand that they're selling, right? Because if they do, then that means everybody's going to sell and the market can drop. So I think that they're just going to drop it little by little by little by little. So again, this is what I told you yesterday. I wouldn't buy the dip in anything right now. Sunday, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in length. I'm going to do a deep dive this week on stocks to cover for a scenario, an inflationary scenario, because we have CPI numbers coming out Wednesday. I think the market is also going to brace itself for that as well. So we'll see. All right, guys. Well, any other questions? All right. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. And, if you haven't liked, subscribe yet, please like, subscribe, and hang tight. As far as next week, what I'm doing is, and I just started opening this thing up here. But if you go to, and I'll post it up on my Twitter. Here's your must book reads to read. If you haven't, if you want to read something that's really good, it's all about price action and mindset. But on this page right here, and it's the link is on my YouTube. I'm going to post here. Basically, I do some other posts here. I'm going to do the market forecast. I'm going to change the name to the market ahead, and what to expect, especially for my stock traders that go out there and they want to know what to expect for the market. And in there, we're going to put on the economic calendars, stocks and plays that I see for the week for long-term holders. All right, guys. All right. So that is it. No more other questions. And all right, guys. Well, I'll say adieu and go out there, go get it. Stay green.